Marketing your clothing brand in 2025 is dead. It's too unpredictable. As you're sitting and hoping for your organic content on TikTok and Instagram to go viral, you're sitting at that 200 to 700 view jail, you're burning money on ads that barely make you any profit, and you're sending your pieces out to influencers that might scam or ghost you. And there's literally nothing you can do about it, or so I thought. You see, last year, I realized that marketing your clothing brand was fundamentally broken on all levels. Nothing seemed to work and nothing seemed to stick. All the gurus said the same thing and it was like a broken record going round and round. But there was one thing that all these big brands like Nike, Adidas, Gucci, Prada all had in common, but no other brand was or could even replicate how they marketed until now in 2025. And using this new marketing model that all these big brands capitalize on, and then I personally make $68,985.53 every single month with my clothing brand with this new marketing model that has been happening right under your noses and no one is ever talking about. So if you can't sit back and watch a 10 to 15 minute video on how to market your clothing brand in a time and cost effective way that has never been seen before, then quite frankly, I know this is harsh, but you don't deserve the information that I'm gonna give you here today. But if you stick with me to the end of this video, I'll give you a special offer and I'll give you a special gift that only 1% of brand owners can accept. So if you're ready to create the life you always dreamed of with your clothing brand, then you have to watch this video until the end to see how this is done. If you're a 9-to-5 worker making steady, comfortable income around $4,000 to $7,000 a month, in the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna show you guys step by step exactly how I was able to leave my good paying, stable 9-to-5 job to making over $60,000 a month consistently with my clothing brand within the last year. And I did this by using a completely new marketing model, different from the traditional marketing and clothing brands like organic, ads, influencers, and even UGC. And the crazy thing is, this new marketing model has been hiding right under your noses, but for some reason, nobody's talking about it. Let me just give you guys a quick introduction to myself. My name is Elohim Clark, and I used to be a Chase Bank financial analyst making around $5,000 a month, which was decent. But every day at work, I wanted more for my life. I couldn't stand asking my boss to go on restroom breaks. I couldn't stand living like a high schooler at 23 years old. I couldn't stand not being able to have that financial, location, and time freedom I told myself I was gonna have when I was younger. I just knew I was destined for more. Ever since then, ever since knowing that there was a different path, I've been able to quit my job and now make over $60,000 a month with my clothing brand, Be Special. And now I go on vacations whenever I want, I can buy whatever I want, and best of all, I can use a restroom whenever I want. And to show you that I'm not lying about what I've achieved, here's me a few years ago at my UPS job. I couldn't find any photos of me at Chase. Now, here's me living my clothing brand owner lifestyle. Here's me also being able to buy whatever I want, go on trips whenever I want, all across the country, Turks, Miami, Colombia, and all types of other states and countries. Also being able to link up with different influencers and rappers like Gunna, Soulja Boy, Sway Lee, DaBaby, Mexican OT, and others. Here is my mentorship program, Streetwear Scholars, up in Times Square, New York City. So I really urge you to pay attention to this video, take notes, put your phone on D&D, because this marketing model I'm about to show you today is completely brand new. And this untapped marketing strategy isn't only for people that have done their brand for years on end. It's actually the exact strategy I teach my students right now in my Streetwear Scholars mentorship program, and how they took advantage of this opportunity, like David, Mario, and Dame from Endless Venture, who I was able to scale from $0 to $10,000 in just 30 days of working together with this new marketing model. Shanira, where I took her brand morph mindset from failing drops and unprofitable marketing strategies to her first sold out drop with selling hoodies that cost over $150. Or even Tommy, where he came from backgrounds of drop shipping, doing over $2.5 million in sales, and still joining our program with this extensive knowledge on e-commerce, because he saw that this new opportunity with this new marketing model, and now his brand will be on track to doing those same $2.5 million numbers with our help, and again with this new marketing strategy. And all the others in the program getting those same results or even better with this new marketing model. Like Matt, where he said, my first drop is one piece away from being sold out. Or Cash, doing $4,000 on Black Friday. Or Zach, doing consistent $2,000 days, doing over $60,000 a month. Emmanuel, doing his first 10K month and hitting 10K followers on Instagram. And now, I'll explain the exact strategy and how it works in a 10-step process, and most importantly, how you can learn and use it too. By the way, at any point in time, you can book a game plan call with us right down below on this YouTube video, where we'll show you how you can get these same results and how we'll guarantee you will leave your job, make consistent $20,000 a month with this new marketing strategy, or we will work with you for free until you do so. Now, All the pain you've been dealing with when it comes to the traditional marketing process for your clothing brand has been completely removed with this new marketing model. Because all the people I shared, and myself included, got those results without A, having to create organic content on TikTok and Instagram, and doing the copy and paste viral method, where you can copy word for word viral videos and essentially put your product in front of it, which all these big clothing brand owner gurus are telling you to do because they can't even go viral themselves. And also, organic is just so unpredictable. And B, they didn't have to send their product to a bunch of influencers just to have little to no return on investment. Worst of all, influencers scamming or ghosting. And C, they also didn't have to dump a bunch of money into ads just to see zero result back from it. And if they did see results, they weren't making any profit. So if you want to get to the point where you can finally leave your stable, comfortable 9-to-5 job and go all in with your brand, finally have that location, financial, and time freedom you've been yearning your whole life. If you want to get to the point where you don't feel like you're chained to a boss, working for a company that doesn't even appreciate your hard work. You want to get to a point where you can actually work towards something that has real meaning and passion. You want to get to a point where you can make $20,000 consistently and not have the anxiety and stress that your brand will not be enough to keep you afloat every month. You want a consistent and predictable marketing process that will garner sales without having to hope and pray that you get a viral video, without having to hope and pray that influencers actually make content for your brand, and without feeling that you're burning money on ads and getting little to no results. And if you do get results, having no profit left for yourself to live that life of freedom. Then this video can potentially be life-changing for you, so you have to watch it till the end. So let me explain how this new marketing model works. So I'm sure you've seen all these other clothing brand gurus tell you, copy what all the other viral videos are doing, just slap your product in front of it and call it a day. Or just dump a bunch of your hard-earned money into ads, or send your pieces to influencers hoping they make content for you, or post customer UGC videos. And I thought that too. When I first started my brand and I kept doing it and saw little to no results, everyone was telling me it was normal. And just how I like to say it, I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks and seeing what goes viral. And I know a bunch of you are watching this and are stuck without even realizing it. I like to call this the brand owner marketing loop. So this is how it starts off. You want to figure out how to market your clothing brand, so you go on YouTube and search up how to market your clothing brand. You come across some videos of organic content, but that organic content is unpredictable. You're stuck at 200 to 500 views. You keep praying and hoping that you get a viral video. Then you look up how to market your clothing brand again and stumble across videos about running ads. But the problem is you start running ads, but then you start burning money. And then once you start burning your cash, you realize you didn't have the right creatives and strategies to do it from the start. And then you feel like nothing's working. Or you do start running ads, they do start to work. Then the problem arises that you're spending too much money, which leads you to have little to no profit for your business, because you have to keep reinvesting for your bulks and you have to keep spending daily on these ads. And already in the brand space and e-commerce space, our profit margins are very little. So this model for ads doesn't even work anymore. And then you go back to YouTube, look up how to market your clothing brand again, and you find videos on how to send pieces to influencers. Then you send it out to influencer, hoping to get the best return on investment because you're sending out your clothes to an influencer with 100K followers. But the problem is you get zero sales. And then worst of all, you send it to the influencer, pay for promo, and they either ghost you, lose your money, or they even lose your product. And then you look up how to market your clothing brand again and come across some UGC videos, but you don't have enough reach because you don't have enough customers to post these UGC videos. And trust me, I've literally been in your guys' shoes, doing the same old traditional marketing processes that everyone tells you to do. And funny enough, after trying for 3 years, it did actually work. I was able to get some viral videos. I was able to get some of the biggest influencers in my brand. I was able to get some profitable ads. And I was also able to get some good UGC videos that did convert a little bit. But it came with too many problems. I was spending too much time. It took me way too long to get to where I'm at today. Also, I spent way too much money and it was never consistent enough for me to leave my job. I had anxiety every day. When I woke up, and I always felt like in one day, everything could just crumble down. Every day was unpredictable and I was waiting and hoping my traditional marketing ways would work. And when you're trying to leave your comfortable 9-to-5 job and you're trying to scale your brand after 1 to 2 drops that went semi-well, or you just flat out failed with your first few drops, you're going to have to do these marketing processes that are fundamentally broken and unpredictable. And yeah, that's cool, you can try it, but it'll never be consistent, predictable, steady, or even profitable enough for you to leave your job and go full-time with your clothing brand. And it can never hit mass reach because you're only doing it on one organic account, one ad account, and at the end of the day, you're just one brand doing the same thing over and over again, getting saturated into the whole brand space. And that's why everyone says the clothing brand space is saturated, because everyone's doing the same thing, following the same traditional marketing strategies that are fundamentally broken. So Me realizing this last year, I really had to take a step back and I had to see what these big brands were doing. What processes that they were doing to get these billion-dollar companies like Nike, Adidas, Gucci, Burberry, etc. Like, what were they doing so well that these traditional Instagram brands were not doing? I thought to myself and gave the general reasons of, well, it's because these bigger brands, their fulfillment is good. They're in actual stores. They have good marketing. They have good products, etc. But there was just one thing I was missing. When I was listing all those reasons to myself, it was how insane the reach these brands actually had. Now, these big brands like Nike, Louis, Gucci have so many customers that they print organic user-generated content. And if you don't know what user-generated content is, it's where the customer creates the content for these big brands, posts on the internet, whether it be on their personal Instagram stories, Reels, TikToks, YouTube videos, posting about how high quality the product is or just rating the product in general. And some companies pay for this type of content. Some companies get it for free, and it works so well because it's like testimonials for their products, gaining these big brands even more trust and more word of mouth marketing. Here's some examples from Nike. Here's 2 examples from a skincare brand. Because essentially it's cool to be in the Gucci store buying their bags. It's cool to be in Louis Vuitton buying their glasses. So now these big brands have a monopoly on content. They just need to make a really good product, then produce a little bit of content, then have the users do all the heavy lifting when it comes to mass producing and marketing. In an image form, here's a pyramid of content being done. It's Gucci at the top, a good product, a little bit of content, and then a bunch of customer UGC content. And I thought to myself last year, seeing this in person in front of my eyes, and I said, okay, these big brands are abusing the customer UGC videos and they're able to mass produce this content. So how can small brands replicate this? Because at the end of the day, we want our brands to be up there with the greats, not just a regular TikTok brand. And also, as I like to say, more eyes, more sales. And that's why these big brands are gaining so many sales, which led to me finding the marketing process of clothing brand clipping. Let me explain. How does clothing brand clipping work? Well, it's when you create a mass amount of hyper curated content, short or long form for your brand, different from regular content you're used to posting on traditional marketing touch points. And then you hire 30 to 50 different clippers, or in other words, editors under you to clip this new form content. And with those 30 to 50 different clippers, they post the videos on their own account, but the account that they post on directly relates to your brand. For example, the name of the account that it could be posting on is Your Brand Clips or Your Brand Content, which leads you to expand your reach for your brand and get your content as many people as possible, just how Nike, Adidas, and all these big brands are doing with their UGC content. And now you're probably wondering, well, wouldn't this be more expensive than traditionally running ads or sending out to influencers, as you have to actually pay these clippers a monthly fee or just a flat rate? Well, it's actually not, because you're paying on a results basis, where every 1K views, you either pay them around 50 cents to $1, and you only pay if one single video hits 50,000 views or above. If you have a video that hits 40,000 views, you don't have to pay them a single cent. Let's say you do pay 50 cents per 1,000 views. You only need to pay $25 for that 50,000 view video. Let's say the clipper only got 40,000 views on a single video. You don't need to pay, which you basically just got 40,000 views for free. So you're basically asking, well, why would a clipper even clip your content if you don't pay them at 40,000 views? Well, I totally agree with you on that. And that's exactly why you bring in incentive-based clipping, where you give these clippers their own specific commission link from your brand, giving them around 1 to 3% that they have on their designated account, which leads to the clippers having more incentive to put your content out, even if they don't get paid because they didn't hit that 50K view threshold. Now, not only are they getting paid per views, but now they're also getting paid for their sales that they get directly from the quality of their content that they make, giving more incentive for them to keep mass producing your content for you. And instead of mass producing bad quality content, they actually produce great quality content, because again, their sales are directly related to the quality of the content that they put out. Well, you're probably thinking that's probably like the ambassador program for influencer marketing, which yes, it is. Now you don't have to give them 10 to 15% of your sales. Now you only need to give these clippers around 1 to 3%. Again, way more cost effective and time effective than these traditional marketing process. Now this process delegates your time. Now you're basically at the top of the pyramid, sending out all the content to your 30 to 50 different clippers, and you also don't need to pay that $50 budget every day for your ads just to get less than 3,000 impressions. You also don't need to get scammed by these influencers not creating content for you. And now you will get even more of a return for the same hard work you put towards your traditional marketing. So just looking at it in image form, this is your brand at the top, your content, your product, and now we're producing all of that content to our clippers. Parallel to the bigger brands, like I said earlier, Gucci with their good product, a little bit of content, and all of their customer UGC videos. And clothing brand clipping also makes it so that your content doesn't become unpredictable for organic, because it's not only one account that you're posting on every day, it's actually 50 different accounts that are posting your content 2 to 3 times a day. The sheer amount of value negates any unpredictability on these social media platforms. Meaning, again, you get to post these 100 videos every day, and looking at the big picture, when you start scaling with your clothing brand clipping with around 1,000 to 2,000 clippers, you can only imagine how much video output / sales you'll be getting. And you're probably saying, hey, this sounds great on paper, but is any other brand proven to do this? And yes, I can give you all the students I've helped get these results with clothing brand clipping, but I'll give you the biggest case study, which I said before is Nike, Adidas, Burberry, Gucci, Prada, and all these other bigger brands. Literally every big brand you've seen has fundamentally done this model, and that's why I'm saying it's all under our noses. They do clipping in a way of UGC, as their reach is so big, as I said before. And I hope this just blew your brain on how lucrative this model is just by seeing this video. You are early. It's been fundamentally happening in our industry of clothing, but it has never been done with smaller brand. And clipping has also been done and proven in many other industries. For example, most famously, streaming. Kai Cenat, he makes around $1.5 million per month with his streaming business, and half or more of how he gets his reach / money is doing something called clip farming, where he live streams to hundreds of thousands of people, live videos that aren't edited, and he does something crazy on the stream, like backflipping, kissing a girl, or even doing like a crazy stunt. Then his army of 5,000 to 10,000 clippers clip up, edit all of his content, and post it all over the social media platforms dedicated to Kai Cenat. Here are some of Kai Cenat's clipping accounts, with one of them almost at 500,000 followers. And an estimate from Google states that he was able to generate more than 10 billion views in his clips, getting his most viral moments out to the masses. That's more than the Earth's population. And so many other streamers are doing the same model for clipping. FaZe Clan, iShowSpeed, Aiden Ross. And this hasn't just been in the entertainment world, it's also been in the online business world as well. Let's talk about Andrew Tate, where he became a multi-millionaire just by his army of clippers clipping and editing up his content whenever he was on podcasts and said something controversial. Which, with this model, he became the most searched up man in the world for over half a year. And he paid per views. Also gave his clipping army a percentage to his product, Hustler University. Same way we do with the clipping affiliate program to give our clippers incentive to keep mass distributing content for your brand, giving them 1 to 3% of all sales with their own specific link. And clothing brand clipping doesn't keep you in the social platform dome of only TikTok and Instagram like traditional marketing does. Now you can leverage all social media platforms like Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Snapchat, etc. Your reach will be universal. And right now, clothing brand clipping is making regular people rich. And right now, people are taking advantage of this insane opportunity that's about to blow up in your face in the next couple months in the clothing brand world. Just like my students have. David, Mario, and Dane, $0 to $10,000 in 30 days. Tommy on track for 2.5 million. Shanera with her sold out drops. Leo, who's about to do numbers with his clothing brand. Kennedy, who's able to do a multi-4 figures with one shirt. Victor, hitting consistent 1.1K days. Tim, making $3,000 in a day. Emmanuel, that was able to do 10K followers on Instagram, including making $10,000 in 1 month with his clothing brand. Matt, who was able to do 3K in sales in just 3 days. And it doesn't take long to make this work. It won't take years and years of time to create a big brand like Nike, Adidas, and Gucci all did. And now, instead of taking the long route of building your brand, you can basically shortcut your way into the big reach that these massive brands have and create it for your small brand. Now, I know you're wondering to yourself, okay, I know the basis of how this actually works. How can I implement this and do it yourself? And yes, no doubt, you can go and try it by yourself, and I encourage it. But you'll have to gather and pay 50 to 100 different clippers a flat fee or a monthly retainer, which would be super expensive. You have to create a system on how you pay them out. You have to figure out and create correct content framework for mass content distribution. You have to create and lock down your manufacturing and fulfillment processes. You'll have to create a product and an offer so irresistible that someone can buy it from a 30-second clip. You have to make sure your website is the right kind of landing page to ensure that you get the impulse purchase. You have to create and reformat reformat your whole retargeting system on your SMS and email flows. You'll have to make sure your sales funnel is so bulletproof that no customer gets lost in the purchase journey, and there's going to be so many more nuances that goes into the clothing brand clipping. But what if I told you you don't need to create all those processes and systems out? And what if I told you that you wouldn't need to come into any problems that lead you into a throbbing headache of issues? And what if I told you everything that I mentioned can be plugged and played into your clothing brand today? Well, you'd be absolutely correct for thinking that. So here's what I offer to you when you join my Streetwear Scholars clothing brand clipping mentorship. Step 1, before you do anything, we'll hop on an onboarding call one-on-one with you to figure out where you're at in your brand journey. Then we'll help you build out the exact systems we need to actually implement clothing brand clipping into your business. Step 2, then we'll make sure everything is systemized and bulletproof when it comes to your manufacturing and fulfillment process. Because if it's not on lock, this model will not work, because you'll be able to get so many sales every day, you will not be able to keep up with your fulfillment process that you have now. Step 3, then we'll make sure your product is a 30-second purchase verifiable, because without a winning product, no one will buy. Your brand message doesn't matter as it did in the traditional marketing, because now we are essentially selling on emotions and on impulse. Step 4, then we'll make sure your website is as high and converting as possible, and that you will not lose any customers in the sales funnel for your clothing brand. Step 5, next we'll make sure all of your retargeting systems are in place, like pop-ups when it comes to SMS and email marketing, including customer win-back flows, welcome series flows, and even abandon a cart flows. Step 6, then we'll go into your business almost like a partner. And if you already have a big brand around 10 to 20K followers and already have a good community, we can build on top of that and make sure we optimize your content and create it for scale when it comes to clipping. And if you don't have that audience, we'll help you build it up with our clipping army. In addition to step 6, content creation for scale is so different compared to what traditional clothing brand marketing does. We leverage AI and its in-depth process almost like an art. So we will need to take more time on this step rather than any other step. Your content matters so much for clipping, and it is way more different than traditional marketing. Step 7, then we build out an irresistible offer for your product so that even a cold customer that's coming from a 30-second clip can still buy instantly from your clothing brand. Instead of trying to hit them from all different types of touch points when it comes to ads, organic, or even influencers. Step 8, then once all of our funnels, systems, and offers in place and built out for the brand, then we implement our clipping process with WAP. WAP is a 9-figure company that we partner with, and as you will see, they featured Streetwear Scholars in Times Square. And then we will use their program for payouts for our clippers, sending content, and building out systems for our clippers in the WAP community. Here is Streetwear Scholars being featured in Times Square, New York City. Step 9, then we will use our in-house clipping army so that you don't have to pay all of them upfront if you were to do this yourself, and simply plug and play the thousands of clippers we have on deck. Step 10, then we launch in the next 20 days and start smooth sailing, printing cold hard cash without having to spend a bunch of money on ads, stressing about our organic content not working and going viral, and not having anxiety about influencers not posting with your brand. Then since we're at the top of the pyramid, essentially sending out all the content for mass posting, then going for the big picture when we start hitting scale, we'll have clip managers under us managing more clippers, and we again will just literally create content. Then our clipping managers will send out the clips to even more clippers, from going to 30 to 50 clippers all the way to 1,000 to 5,000 clippers posting every day for your brand. So just in image form, your clothing brand at the top, good product, good content, and our clipping managers taking that content and producing it to our 1,000 to 5,000 clipping army. Now, even if we only get 200 views with our TikToks on each clipping account, you're probably at right now on your one clipping account. Think about the thousands of clippers doing the same thing every day. That's about 200,000 impressions / views generating for your brand. That's literally a viral video every day. And on top of doing super hands-on work with you, we also have everything systemized so that you don't need to keep asking this question. Inside of our video format program where everything is in chronological order so it all makes sense. Now, I'm telling you, you truly only need a couple hundred followers, steady cash flow to make this whole model work. And even if you're a bigger brand with tens of thousands of followers, that's even better since you have the foundation of social proof. And I'm literally talking about above 20 to 30K a month for your brand without spending a bunch of money on ads or hoping for influencers to post your brand or even organic videos trying to go viral. This is what I like to call true predictability. Think about what that'll do for your life right now. For me right now, I don't need to do anything since I have these clippers working for my personal brand and also for my brand Be Special as well. And all the sales coming to me without even really need to spend too much on ads or doing marketing for myself. I just need to batch shoot some content, which I'm already good at, and then I let the clippers do their thing. And here's more proof. My most viral video on my main account has only hit 107,000 views. But on my clipping accounts, you can see 140,000 views, 180,000 views, 90,000 views, 25,000 views. And here are my students, Endless Venture, David, Mario, and Dame, their clipping accounts for their brand. Now, what happens if you don't run with this clothing brand clipping model? I'll just be honest with you. You can generally just stay the same and do nothing with this video at the end of the day. And you'll truly have the luxury to do two things. Pretend this video never existed and continue to do what you were already doing with your clothing brand marketing life, and you're comfortable paying 9-to-5 job. Or gain a competitive advantage in the opportunity that can potentially change the course of your life. The choice is yours. You can either let this opportunity slip out of your hands like you've done with so many other opportunities, or you can seize it and be early. Because this model is going to get bigger and bigger over time, the people who are early always win. And the reason you need to do this now is simply because you are early and this model is just so new. I want to ask you one question. How many clothing brands are actually clipping content? Literally none. Because this is the first. It's so unknown that it's ridiculously profitable. But it's funny, it's how all the guys at the top are making their money. Nike, Adidas, Gucci, Prada, etc. And if you don't jump on this now, I guarantee you will lose. So let's just refresh your memory real quick. We will guarantee you will leave your job, make $20,000 a month consistently with this new model, and in the next 180 days, or we will work with you for free until you do so. So if you want this offer, which is not lasting long because we do close a program when we hit capacity, you need to book in a call in the link below on this YouTube video, which is a one-on-one game plan interview for your clothing brand to see how we can help. Now, obviously, this program is not free, y'all. It's not cheap. We value our time and commitment we give to you, and that's why we make sure we get the best results. So if you are not ready to invest in yourself to get the best possible help, then please click off this video because I don't want you here whatsoever. But if you do have the mindset of getting help and understand that this new opportunity of clothing brand clipping is so new and priceless, and you understand that it takes money to make money, then go ahead and book a game plan call right down below on this YouTube video. And again, here's even more results to show you guys the proof is in the pudding. Zach making 2K in 1 day. Victor doing 30K months. Cash doing 4K in 1 day. Leo, Matt, Shanira, Tommy, Emmanuel, Kennedy, all doing 4 to 5 figures with their clothing brand. And every single person on that screen you just saw now were in the same position as you, having trouble with their marketing, living their 9-to-5 life. But then they made a change. They invested into themselves. They made the conscious decision to book in a call with us, and now they're thriving because they made a decision to not be average anymore. So I hope you can consider not being in the same loop of hoping for a viral video, dumping money into ads, sending out pieces to influencers that'll ghost you, living the life of someone that can never get out of their 4 to 7K month 9-to-5 lifestyle. Click the link down below to apply and hop on the game plan interview. And again, I can't stress this enough that this opportunity is so priceless and so new. And again, we value our time and commitment to your brand. And that's why we charge the price that we do. And no, this is not a free program whatsoever. I hope to see you on the other side, and I hope you don't let this opportunity slip away from your hands.